Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Well, what have we here?
It's a podcast.
Fine.
And what excitement we have today.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, man, what a night we had Saturday. Wow, what a night we had Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. It was spectacular with the TMOS cocktail party. Best one we've done in a very, very long time. Due in large part to the fact that Rob's wife decided to partake.
She did. She drank her 3-year-old beer and had a great time.
Well, it was something that we really need her if she's going to be on camera, and she's not going to have a little motivation. That's not going to work. And I think I get a little credit for talking her into
you did
joining, and it was fine.
What you did is you turned what could have been just a simple broadcast into a learning moment when you said, Carrie, go get beer.
Now,
and she did.
It was also clear, Rob, that you were on gummies.
Late in the show, I
how
think
many
Rob
did you
lost
take
total
pre-show?
control.
I had a 5 before the show.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. And
then,
then,
a 5. Now, you didn't have 5.
Not 5 gummies.
No, not 5 gummies, 5 milligrams. I had
like a double.
A half of a 10. I had a half of a 10. And then, you drink fluids. You have to stay hydrated during your show.
If you had ever gone through the proper lanes of addiction counseling, they might just frown on you doing that, because it is kind of a substance, right?
Okay. Is that
Not
how did you?
Okay, did they?
No,
I mean,
I
did you ever think about that at all?
It's not addictive, though, I don't think.
What? Gummies
Yeah.
are not addictive? Marijuana's not addictive?
People say
it's
that,
not.
but
I don't
you know
know.
what?
And they
I don't
say
do
that
it
a
every
lot,
day.
Damone.
I see it a lot. I do it. I have one. I don't have one every day, and it was the big villain, and it wasn't even a villain. You know what it was? It was an unsung hero. The unsung hero of Saturday night was the out-of-office sodas, the sparkling lemonade,
Which you both were enjoying, correct?
Yeah, but I think I had a lot more than Josh.
Yeah.
But then I'm also
that's right. 'Cause
3
you
times
did the
his
gummy,
weight.
and then you were doing that.
And the timing works out because the gummy takes about an hour 15 to kick in.
That's
that
true.
really
And
how long
the
it takes?
drinks are about maybe 20 minutes and they're in.
Yeah, they get in there. And what's the fastest of all is if you get the Soul out-of-office oils that you put under your tongue. They work almost instantaneously.
I have to say that my only experience with those beverages was another product.
All right.
But they're similar. And went to a football game, told this story, I believe, on the show, that after I did that, I had one, and I said, hey, this feels pretty good. And we were just sitting there outside in a little camp chair watching my son play football way down, practice football, not a game, all the way down to the end of the field. And, they encourage at a certain age you to be there for the whole time. So if you're going to be there for the whole time, you kind of look the other way. And so Carlo brought one, and then I had one, and I liked it. And then I decided to have 2. And that's
no, they're not selling these at the gift shop, are they? I mean, you have to bring them from
we brought
home.
them ourselves.
Okay.
And, we're out in the middle of a field with nobody around us, and we're
Sure, it's like Woodstock for 2.
Exactly. And by the time the practice was over, Mrs. O'Mara was fine, and I probably couldn't have found my way home. That's how dramatic it was.
What's interesting about those drinks is different brands have different THC levels.
Right.
So you have to take a look. The Souls are 5 per can.
Right. That's a good amount, I think. It works for me.
I
You're
stop
saying
at 1.
the 5 and the 10. Are we talking milligrams?
Milligrams, yeah.
Yeah.
Milligrams. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. It's something. But despite whatever the substances that were being ingested, we had a tremendous amount of participation, and the super chats where people chug a little moolah into the coffers of the show. That's the reason we do these cocktail parties as little fundraisers. And the idea came through from Mr. Soroka that we would have a superstar award for the person that contributed the most to the show that night. And we are here to make the announcement for our TMOS superhero from Saturday night. And there she is, ladies and gentlemen. That is our superhero.
Tina Noble.
Tina Noble. Thank you very much, Tina. We appreciate that.
A
You're
brand new
terrific.
hero who is not sort of name forward in our circles. I didn't recognize her name right away.
Not Facebook friends with any of us.
Oh,
It
wow.
took me a moment to figure it out and
There you go.
track her down.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But,
really terrific. I
Very
really
generous,
love that.
and we really love it. And she was in there swinging the whole time. So, atta girl, Tina. Nice work.
Thank you.
You're most appreciated.
We
Mike, we lost you.
Oh, so no, you got me.
No.
You
Okay.
Sometimes, I was
Brainwaves.
just seeing how
Yeah.
you two were awkwardly congratulating Tina. I really just think that all the usual parties that help us, and we're looking forward to seeing a lot of them at Jimmy's too on May 5th. It's coming up right before the show. Funny moment happened here where I got a call, and it's my daughter, and I stop the presses when any of
Sure.
my children call, and I look. And I did a TikTok video earlier this morning promoting our appearance at Jimmy's on Saturday, May 3rd for the Derby party. Starts at 5 o'clock, by the way. Call Jimmy's if you want to make a reservation. I don't know if they still have tables, but you can ask. And I see Elizabeth, and she says, "What? Elizabeth is a TikToker." And so she says, "What's this I hear about you being in Virginia?" I said, "Yes."
Did she not? She couldn't have said it with that exact verbiage.
Yeah, she
That's
was.
like
She
an
was
old
giving me
person.
crap. She was
What's
giving
this
me
I
crap.
hear about?
Yeah, she's giving me crap, and she is going to be in attendance. And
Oh,
Joy
that's
asked
great.
if Michael was going to be there. I said, "Yes, Michael's going to be there." And and wear your goofy hat. And we're
Did she
very,
ever
very
say,
excited.
why
Yes.
didn't you give me a heads up?
She did.
Like
She
no
gave me
personal invite?
Yeah, she was giving me crap because I did not give her the heads up. But it's a month out, so I mean, a little under a month before we're up at Jimmy's, so that's fine. Well, then fine. That'll be fine. It's busy, and it's
Will
been
she
kinda
bring
crazy.
a bow with her?
She might bring Connor. I'm not
Okay.
sure. I don't know if you've met Connor yet, but
We know of Connor. I don't think I haven't seen Elizabeth in forever. I can't
Mm-hmm.
wait to see her. She is a funny lady. I like
she's
talking
a lot
to
of
her.
fun, and
Yeah.
she's really excited. So I will nail that down with her. She's getting ready to move into a new apartment, so she's busy up there in Virginia. Actually,
Penthouse.
getting ready to move into an apartment, after not being in an apartment for a long time.
Well,
you know?
she liked to enjoy the hospitality of familial
Of my
relations.
ex,
Yes, of course.
And I think they're moving out, and so my ex is moving to another place with her husband, and I think that coincides with them leaving the
Oh,
domicile.
so Connor's leaving the house as well.
well, I don't
And
think
it
he's
sounds like
staying
they're being
there.
forced out.
I'm not sure.
They could be
you know.
squatters.
That's funny. You know what? Let me make a mental note.
Yeah.
I will try to get Elizabeth on the show
I'd
later
love
this
that.
week. We'll try to get a Zoom call with Elizabeth and get her on the show to
And
chat.
brief her on
you know-
squatters' rights.
Yes,
that if she does
absolutely.
improvements on the house,
I'm not leaving. It's a
They
is it
might get-
Michael Keaton that was in that movie about San Francisco where he stayed in the
Yeah,
house.
I think it was. I
and
think it was Michael Keaton.
it was like a townhouse in San Francisco. Great
Yeah.
movie. Don't remember the name of it, but yeah, we had a fantastic night on Saturday. I
It
will
was
tell
a
you,
lot of fun. It really was.
I had to be up at about 7 a.m. on Sunday, and
At what point during the drinkathon did you realize that the schedules were going to overlap like that? Because I remember at the beginning of the show, it wasn't an issue that you had a ball game the next day. But then as the show progressed, it became more
It wasn't a ball game. It was just golf. It
golf.
was
But then there was a
golf with
ball
my
game
son.
in the afternoon, wasn't there?
There was a practice that was because of their come from behind victory was practice optional, so we didn't
Yeah.
have to go to that.
I think it was
see.
around the 90-minute mark where you started thinking about changing your tea time.
Yeah,
And that's when
Yeah.
the ball game came on.
I was festive, and even with those little, so there are two things that those lemonade-y drinks do.
Yeah.
They, it's like drinking nothing, And so you feel it very soon. And the other thing is that the old scale told the story of too many liquid calories for me over the weekend in general.
It's an
I
evil
normally don't
thing.
hit it.
It's an evil thing how fast
Totally
they can
evil.
sneak up on you.
But yeah, a little logy, but was managed to hop into the shower, get my act together. I was solo flying because my wife and my son were down at their grandmother's place and made it down in short order, got him out there. He was having trouble playing, so we went to the driving range, and we were there for about 3 hours.
Had he been drinking the night before, too?
Just S-faced.
Yeah, because that'll mess with your game.
S-housed
Every
100%.
time.
It just... I realize why that clock on the wall tells you should not continue to do it the way you do it. And it's also, for me, it's a lot of togetherness, and it's a lot of we generate a lot of content now for this show anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So when you throw in the fact that those shows are usually maybe a little bit over an hour, the show on Saturday night, the cocktail hour, was what, 7 hours? Is that what it was?
That's right, with a 40-minute intermission.
Jeez.
I think it was 2 hours, 15 minutes.
That
2
sounds
hours
about
and
right.
50,
Yeah,
plenty
Yeah.
of time.
And that'll be available for bonus show members later today.
That's
Yeah.
great.
But be aware, listening to it is like watching The Irishman. It takes a while, so you're gonna want to watch it.
What's that mean? I thought we were
I
very.
think he's just
No,
saying
I'm
it's long.
I'm Mike. I'm talking long. That's all.
Well, it was having your wife there freaked me out at the beginning because the first thing, I think Rob said it, that she was not going to have anything to drink. And well, you tell me, how did that? What happened pre-show?
I offered her one of those sodas from Seoul, and she said, "No, I'm not going to drink." And I said, "Oh, come on, have something." And then she said no. And then you laid on some heavy peer pressure. It was like being in high school again. You're like, he's having
Well,
something.
don't you remember
I'm
the
having
last
something.
time she was on the cocktail hour and didn't drink? It was horrible.
Yeah, she was.
Do you remember how bad that was?
Mike, I remember all the bad things with her.
I'm talking about specifically the cocktail
Yes,
hour.
it was. She was closed mouthed, and her attitude was sour.
That's the description. So she seemed in good spirits.
She had a
right
good
from the
time.
get-go, even without imbibing. And then when she began to imbibe, she began to do so with a great deal of gusto, which I thought was fantastic. And we needed her because Carla wasn't around to bring her snark to the show. You know,
I glanced over, and there were 5 empty beer cans as soon as I could even blink.
Girl.
I mean,
Way to go.
she's she has a nickname from when we traveled to Europe, which was Fast Drinker. That was I forget the exact, because it was a German guy that said it. It was like Fast Trinker, and because she
Frau
could put it
Drinker.
away, she could drink it, she could put it away. But she had fun, and I told her it was one of her best appearances ever. So she
Yeah,
did
she
a
had
great
a good
job.
time.
Was she making you awkward, or was it the gummies when she started talking about her gambling?
Oh, I didn't care about that.
Okay.
I'm very proud of it. She didn't have a very good day yesterday. But
he seemed awkward, though, Josh.
He seemed awkward. It must. I think it might have been the gummies.
Was it the sports, though, when she was
timing
talking about sports?
checks in?
Oh, I think it was when she mentioned the wrong client. That made me awkward.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine.
That was the only thing that threw me, and she felt bad about that too. But
There are sports fans, and then there are sports gambling fans.
Right.
And the breadth of knowledge required for sports gambling, which I just never tracked with Carrie doing that, has to be
you
pretty
didn't.
significant.
It's all happened in the past 4 months. I
Oh,
mean,
really?
Yeah. This is not this is not what she does. And my son got her into it. And yesterday she didn't win enough to buy a car, but she's working on it. But when she first told me like what her first 2 months of returns were, I was shocked.
$4,000.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
good.
It's
That's
very
good on
good.
any measure. That's fantastic. You know, I mean, I thought it was but you have to kind of know your teams, and you have to know
She
the
does.
ins and outs. Speaking of sports, a absolutely amazing weekend for Alex Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals.
So cool.
Pretty rare to see an athletic competition completely shut down before the outcome is determined, and that's what they did with Alex Ovechkin. Breaking Wayne Gretzky's goals record.
They were so ready
I
for
believe.
they were so ready for the presentation. And this was a big deal to Carrie because she's become quite the Caps fan. And she goes to the games, but this was an away game. And she said, "Do we get this game on television?" I said, "Well, I don't think so."
Was it an away game?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
All right.
It was in New York, and so we looked on all the things. I couldn't find it, and I said, "All right, you know what? This is important. Let's buy ESPN Plus for a month, and we'll watch the game today." Okay. So we dropped the $12. ESPN Plus is not carrying the game after I pay the money. So I said, I don't know what we're going to do. And we're flipping out. What provider do you think was carrying that game? It blew my mind.
So you don't get the locals or anything like
The network,
that,
the
right?
locals don't have it. The locals didn't
The
have
locals didn't have the game.
it. No, I looked on all of them.
Was it like Comcast Sportsnet or whatever?
It might have been there, but as far as streaming.
Well, that's what I call the locals. The local.
Yeah, but he gets local antenna channels.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
looked on all those.
Not
I
cable.
thought it might be on one, but Mike, it was on Max. It was on the Max app because through the Max app,
HBO Max.
yeah, you go through Max to get to TNT, and then TNT had the game. Took forever to find it, but it was
Boy,
great.
I'll tell you, when it comes to live sports, it does become more and more of a challenge.
Yeah.
With the fragmentation of programming in sports, get outside of the NFL monopoly, which controls everything, and you know where they are. It's really hard sometimes to find, an event like that. I watched the highlights.
So when he
It's
scored,
spectacular.
they stopped the game, cleared the ice.
Absolutely.
Did the ceremony?
Yeah,
Rolled out
yeah.
carpet, the whole deal. And I got to tell you, and there was a lot of this on social, is that the hockey, NHL really does it right. It was just a wonderful presentation, ready to go at the drop of a hat. And I
Except for
thought it
being
was
an
great.
away game. He should have sat the game out.
But I know people who were at the away game, and they said the mood was great and was very
the
much in
hockey
favor of
fans,
it. Yeah.
Sure.
People
Yeah.
that
We
are
still
true hockey
appreciate it.
fans
Yeah.
would appreciate the history of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
When Gretzky was in the building, they brought Alex's kids and his wife and his mother down.
I
to-
didn't realize his mother, she has a
Be
part-time
careful.
job, Mike.
Be careful, please.
We've met her before. Did you know that? In Philadelphia, she is a professional Ben Franklin impersonator.
Stop it. His wife is absolutely
stunning.
It sounds very similar
stunning.
to the Cal Ripken ceremony for 21-31.
Yeah,
Where,
the Iron
as far
Man.
as stopping the game, bringing
Yeah.
family out, making it.
and really,
Did they bring out Cal's mother?
I believe his
she's
mom
a big
and dad
part.
were
By
there.
the way, Alex
dad.
Ovechkin's mom has been at, if not every game, she's been at tons of games. And did his father pass? Did Alex Ovechkin's
believe
father
so.
pass?
I believe so.
And then the Gretzky, Wayne Gretzky, who Rod Langway, former defenseman for the Washington Capitals, told me a story about Wayne when we were out having a beer. And Rod said to me that we could go to any city and go to the hotel where he's staying, and he'd come down to the lobby with a phone call. That's how chill and how good a guy he is. He is so humble and modest, and he was so classy because any way you slice it, we all know records are meant to be broken, but that record from the great one, that's Wayne Gretzky, really no one ever expected it would be broken, and he handled that with a level of grace and
he's
honor
wonderful.
that was really spectacular because at your heart of heart, you're a competitor. It's in there. Your legacy is now a little different, and it's got to be just a little sting when that happens. And you saw the reactions, tears on both sides. And,
I know a lot of dogs were really upset about it.
yeah, and it was the dogs wanted that. I will be doing a TMOS extra on the Caps and hockey and my hockey world, which is.
Will you discuss Bill Butters?
I will talk about Bill Butters. I will talk about the connection to my dad. I will also talk about the spectator sport that I've switched loyalties on for a very, very long time, and then I will lead it up to the story of Alex Ovechkin, who I believe has different qualities from most real goal scorers, and it's a blast. And
Did
here's
you know-
the picture. Rob's got a picture of his son with Ovi.
whole
right
family.
Well, Rob's there too.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. And Carrie's in it too. There he is.
And look at that nice Capital shirt Rob's wearing.
Well, you know what? That is photoshopped because it was actually a Turner Classic Movies t-shirt that I met the great one while I was wearing. But here's the thing, Mike. I was wearing the Caps jersey that Robert's wearing when we went to that practice. But Ralph Rice, who was able to hook that up for me. And by the way, Ralph wasted no time in getting a picture of him and Gretzky and him and Ovi up on social media for being at the game.
Oh, good for you. Well, he's
Ralph
he's
is
a
awesome.
hockey fan of hockey fans.
So,
So has his dream job working security for the Caps.
So
it's great.
When
And I
Ralph
think
got
he's
us back there,
I think he's the elevated security. Is he the director of security now?
I think so.
for the
He's a big
Washington
shot.
Capitals?
Yeah.
Good man.
So
Way to go, Fred.
he told us we met a couple guys from the team, and then he said, I'm going to go get Ovi now if you'd like to meet him. And Robert's like, yes. This is about 1 year ago. And he said, he's not going to want to sign a jersey if a grown-up is wearing it. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, he sees a million goofs like you, Rob. He doesn't want to sign that jersey. What he wants is if Robert was wearing the jersey, he'd probably sign it. So I gave Robert the jersey, which left me in the Turner Classic Movies t-shirt. And so when Robert had that canvas made for me, Robert photoshopped a Caps logo over the Turner.
That's awesome.
But he was so nice and so kind. And I think I said this when we did it. As your kids get older, there are fewer and fewer things you can do to make yourself look like you're really cool. Right. And having the ability to link through Ralph to get Robert to meet Ovi was amazing. And Carrie and I looked at each other like last night and we said, we got to hang out for like 48 seconds with the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Just take a moment to think about that.
Yeah, it's special.
It's
is.
amazing.
And it's really, and now, to be there and you're at this age now where you see and you remember. Yeah. I remember the contract. I'll talk about this on the extra we have. But to see the gray-haired Alex Ovechkin now when he was like a babe when he came in. And,
the picture they show of him when he signed with Gretzky.
Yeah.
And Ovi looks like not just a high school student, but an unpopular high school student.
I'll tell you, he's something else. We'll talk about that.
Did you know his mom was a sports superstar as well?
Yes, his mom was an
she
Olympian,
was a point guard.
Correct? Oh,
she was a point guard.
Was she on the women's basketball team for the Olympics?
Led the Soviet Union to gold medals in 76 and 80, the 75 World Championship, 6 European League titles, and she's now the head of Russia women's basketball.
Oh,
wow.
She
also,
She
two
is,
seasons,
yes.
Mike, 2 seasons defensive
Tatiana.
end for the Chicago Bears. Which
she's tall.
She's
She's very, very tall. All
I
right,
love
that's
there
enough.
was a post interview where she turned to Alex and she said, if you tie key to kite, you will discover electricity.
Yeah, Rob thinks she's. All right, we're not going to do that.
No,
but
she's a beautiful woman.
Are you done?
I am.
All right. I wanted to talk about something that I didn't share at the beginning. This happened a while ago, and I don't know why at the time. I know why at the time I didn't make any kind of deal of it. We went down a month and a half ago. We went down to the bagel joint on a weekend morning, my son and I, to get bagels for the fam.
Is it a good bagel place?
It's a New York bagel bakery, and
Nice.
it's really, really good. And Michael stayed in the car, and I went in and got in line in the bagel shop.
I hope you at least cracked a window.
It's the car was running. So
Oh,
he was
okay,
fine.
good.
He had the
Good,
air
good, good.
conditioning on.
Okay.
When I came out, this is way back when. When I came out, Michael had said, "Dad, there was a guy that hit the car with his door," and I said, "Oh, really?" And I said, "Was it bad?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "But he was really nasty." Blah blah blah. And he didn't give me much more than that. But when I went around and I looked, I didn't see any damage on the right side of the car. So I was flash forward to, I think I was at the car wash. Or coming out of a grocery store and looked on the right and saw the light hit it just so, and it's one of those dents that you don't see until you catch it in the right light.
Sure. Yeah.
And there it was, and I'm like, holy crap, that really is a dent, and I mentioned it to Michael over the weekend and said, yeah, Dad, I told you. I said, but I didn't tell you everything. He was a real jerk. And I said, well, what happened? Michael says that this guy came out to the car. The only description, I said, well, how old was he? He said he looked like maybe he was in his 50s and he had glasses. And the guy apparently multiple times banged his door into the side of my car. And Michael rolled down the passenger window in the back seat, put his hands up in the air and said, what are you doing? And the guy said something along the lines of, teach your parents how to park their car, F off. To a kid. Now, he had mentioned it very briefly, and I had, but he was gone by the time I got out there, and we didn't follow through on it.
Maybe it's time to put the Cybertruck away.
Yeah, and then threw a Molotov cocktail at it. It was really...
Now, if you hit a Cybertruck 3 times with a door, the side would fall off. So it wasn't a Cybertruck.
It was disconcerting again because I realized, well, that was what had happened. And I'm going to try to fix the dent myself because I know that this is probably not going to be covered by anything.
Plunger?
And I don't want.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
I think a plunger.
I got a plunger, but the plunger didn't cut it. I didn't, and that is why.
Did you remember to rinse it off?
No, you've got to get one of the plungers where you stick it on and then you press the button on the side a bunch until it pulls out.
Okay, I got.
Fancy!
I got one of those little dent remover $12. It's kind of like the same thing that would lock to your inside windshield when you want to hang up one of those phone holders.
A
and
super
it locks
suction
in,
cup, yeah.
And I'm going to try to do that, but it's a kind of a right. He did it. Obviously, looking at the dent, that he did it multiple times. But
did it damage the paint at all?
No, it's
Good.
not. It's hard to see. But I'm going to. Johnny Homeowner is going to try his level best to pull it out of there, and just a guy being a dick. And I think this it was jam packed at this bagel joint, and there was a guy that was just being ass. But yeah, I'm almost not upset about the dent as much as I am telling my kid, an 11-year-old. I wish I just kept fantasizing over the weekend of walking out when that was going down and observing it. I would have loved to have that moment, but then again,
you would have had knee surgery today.
I probably. Boy, I say those days will never repeat.
They're never all the way out of the question.
But if that happened, and it was my kid, I'm not sure how I would handle that. I do not believe in physical violence to solve problems. I truly
what you could have done is if you had walked up behind him, you could have attacked him with a plunger.
Plunger didn't cut it, but you know what? In the O'Mara household, we can always use a new plunger.
Yeah,
it's
but
have either one of you ever
specifically
removed what, Rob? I'm sorry.
This is a specific dent removing plunger, not a clog removing.
It's not even
plunger.
a plunger. This is
Suction
like a
cup.
handle, suction cup handle.
Okay.
Have either one of you ever attempted to remove a dent on your own vehicle?
Yeah. It was an Oldsmobile Brougham.
Okay, and it worked?
I remember the dent coming out and then popping back in.
Okay, you know why?
So
you know how you avoid that? You pour hot water on the outside. You pour hot water before you pull the dent out.
Okay.
If you don't, the dent will go back inside.
Yeah. To be clear, it wasn't my car; it was Big Daddy's car. But I thought that I'd seen it
that's
somewhere.
Literally what might have helped you if you used a plunger on it. And I think maybe getting it a little moisture on it would maybe make a better seal. But I've got the tool for it that's going to be delivered today, so I'll let you know.
Where did you get the tool?
Happens. I don't know if I didn't get it from Temu.
Oh, I was just hoping. That's all.
Well, no, not if you know when it's arriving.
However,
yes.
Temu apparently partners with Amazon for shipping sometimes.
They've got some stuff in the U.S., yes.
They have a U.S. warehouse, and I think it's probably an Amazon warehouse, and I will have you know that my $28 golf shoes arrived.
How long ago did you order them?
Last week.
Because, I was going to guess
How about
that
huh? Last week.
If Temu had a warehouse in the U.S., my guess for it would be Florida.
Perhaps.
So, that would definitely shave a few
And when they say they
days
have
off.
a warehouse, that means the items that they are selling
Yeah.
are already stateside. So it did come in short order, and I really was. I had no opinion as to what the quality level would be.
How much did you pay for them?
$28.
Okay, what would a comparable? Let's say, Mike, you went into Foot Locker or
Okay.
wherever you would buy shoes, or one of your big
Well,
golf
Josh,
superstores.
look up golf shoes, and let's see.
Where do they?
You
Where
can
do
do
they
it on
range?
Amazon or anything. Solid navy blue golf shoe.
And they don't. They're not like days of old with metal spikes, right? They've got soft.
No,
spikes?
they have plastic spikes, or
Okay.
they are hybrids, which means they have like a coating on the bottom that is serrated, and that's
Are
how
these
you get your
spikeless?
grip. These are spikeless. Yes.
They don't have anything where you can like slip into like a slot on the course, so your feet are locked down, like in a
They-
Michael Jackson video.
What are you talking about?
Well, you wouldn't need spikes if your
Yeah.
feet like fit into like brackets.
Slide
No,
onto the nail.
like a permanent place you stand.
Well,
No.
yeah, but then you unblock and you move on to the next
Okay,
hole.
stop.
you put an extra tee down for your foot.
Foot
Your
tee.
foot, you can eat.
It looks like they go anywhere between $70 and $200.
All right,
Wow.
$28. You ready?
Yep. Mike, let's see the other side. Not the bottom, the other side. See, that's the
What's
presentation
the words?
side.
Isn't there some words right below the lace?
Says, so sorry, no
Says,
refunds.
Die, American infidel.
No.
No, I'm sorry. Infidel is the other enemies that we have.
Isn't that the brand of those shoes? Infidels?
Thestron.
Oh, that sounds like something you cure with
Now.
penicillin.
It looks good, right?
Mike,
Doesn't
it
look
looks
decent.
great.
Yes.
But you'll notice that I had to do one thing. I had to make a modification. And I took one of my tattered old exterior golf shoes, and all the damage is in the exterior, not in the insole. And I put an Adidas insole. So it says Boost.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says Boost. I put the Adidas insole in to this golf shoe.
So it's an old
Yeah.
insole.
It's
in a new shoe.
Yeah, it's a much better quality insole because the insole was very thin inside. That's where they cheaped me on it. But the exterior.
Any appreciable odor on that old?
No, you know
liner?
my Zip. Zippy.
I know. I just like to, Mike,
I could
as a
do the
man
whole show
ages.
breathing this. I could do the whole show breathing this.
Don't do
And,
that. As
Now,
you
are
age,
they-
your pH balance
I think it's
changes.
beautiful. I think they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Will they fall apart after like
No.
3 rounds? Maybe.
No, I
don't-
disagree.
I'm looking at
3 rounds is fine. 3 holes, you might have a problem.
That's
three
right.
holes. And I don't know. I am planning on wearing them today and test driving them today. And I think that, by the way, the $28 on this website that we've been talking about so much because we timed it with the tariffs coming.
Yes.
That, things you get for $4 will be $40 and
Yeah.
so on and so forth.
It's a whole lot worse.
The $28 is not one of your better bargains. It's really, they're not giving it away in by any stretch of
Well,
the imagination.
they are. If those are those comparable to say $150 shoes?
I
I-
think they're comparable to about
I don't
$70
think,
shoes.
I think that I think you would. Yeah, I think that's Josh is right.
So you got
Probably
it for
about
like
that.
60% off. That's
I think
giving it
that's
away.
Kind of what I'm saying.
Have you
right there.
now, Mike? I thought about you and your feet yesterday.
Thank you.
Because
I
Me
appreciate
too.
you always thinking
we were
about my
we were
feet.
shoe shopping, and I found UFOs.
UFOs. Yes,
Way too much
insanely expensive.
padding. Way too much padding for me.
Yeah, and
But-
I mean, insane.
Yes.
Insanely overpriced.
Yes.
What
for
are
they are.
UFOs or UFOs? What are
his,
they?
It's
Oh.
his sandals that are supposed to help with his bad feet. That
Mike
he says
has
are the most
great
comfortable
feet.
things he's worn.
Yeah. Boy, those look great, Joan Crawford. They really do look like a 1940s woman slip-on. They do.
There they are.
So
Yeah. I'm headed down to the pool, Jeff.
And I wear these around the house or when I'm doing a podcast.
have you walked around yet in
No
the
order.
Timu shoes?
What's that?
Have you
yeah.
walked
Oh,
around
yeah.
in the
I
Timu
put the
shoes?
insert in and did a test walk last night. I only
How many times
fell-
did you
I only
fall?
I only fell 3 times. It was fantastic.
Honey, I'm taking a test walk. Oh,
Yes,
oh.
yes, tumble, tumble, tumble.
Do you think the new golf shoes will allow you to jump higher?
The only thing I can tell you about these shoes is
Oh, I think it's marvelous. Some of it really fine.
I think Bing probably didn't like UFOs.
these are. I was embarrassed to spend the money on these, but I will also say I have never looked back.
Do I dare ask how much?
$6,000.
That seems a lot each.
Yeah.
So you buy them
No,
individually?
for a pair.
Okay, all right.
But I wear them all the time around the house, and I'll take the dog. I'll walk the dogs in them and stuff like that.
Simplistic shoes are the most expensive shoes I own.
Simplistic. That's Rob's brand. Simplistic shoes. Are you wearing shoes right now?
Of course not. But when I do,
Why do you say it like that?
I never wear shoes around the house. Never.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Are you wearing shoes, Josh?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Why are you both taking a
Because
tone
I
with
think
me?
we had this conversation last week.
All right, but you don't have to take a tone with me about
No,
it. You know,
and
it's
I
just
don't
like,
think
no, you
those-
idiot. I mean, I think it's normal for people to wear shoes. Come on.
Those UFOs were not overly expensive. They were about the same price as Crocs and everything else like that.
Okay. Did you? But you did a test drive and decided they weren't for you.
They only had women's, so
Well, you have.
they didn't fit.
He doesn't have. What is your? I'm going to guess based on your height, you would be a 13.
Yeah, 12 or 13, depending.
I was
going
going
to
to guess 12 because
Rob is a 17.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What is your shoe size?
The right foot is a 17.
What is your shoe size?
The left foot is an 8. No, I wear. Here he comes.
That's why he was never able to pursue that career in tap.
Rob is
that he wanted to.
Rob is walking in circles again.
I'm curious because I'd love to know.
13. 13.
Oh, 13.
Just at the very top of what they make normally. So, and
You know,
wide if I can get it, Mike.
Oscar Santana, when he was with us, would occasionally just photograph Rob's feet.
Yep.
Which was really one of my favorite things that
Me
he used
too.
to do. It was very
It was
funny.
great.
It was
fun.
very funny when he would do that. First time I think was Maine, and you were wearing your Fred Flintstone foot was in a Birkenstock on the porch, and it was. Do you have a 13 wide? Do you use a 13 wide?
If it's available, I go for a 13 wide. Yeah. But you know what, Mike? As we discussed with old people's shoes, the New Balance is already pretty wide. So just
it's a wider
13
shoe.
It is for
And
greater comfort.
My son, his baseball cleats are New Balance. 'Cause he's got a pretty decent dog on him right now. Anyway,
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that. For some reason, 13 wide shoes, corrective as they always are.
Yeah.
With
Well,
your
that's
feet.
the hard bike. Why I go barefoot so much is who has the time to fool with the braces?
What's the pecking order of footwear for you if you are going to take a run out to Birkenstock? I mean, not Birkenstock, out to Costco. Birkenstock is in your top 5. I'm sure.
Birkenstock, I was going to say to put a button on before, talking about the price of your Uzos or whatever. Birkenstock is by far the most expensive shoe I own. And I've got some nice, like formal leather shoes, but Birkenstocks are expensive. But they're
You have hush puppies, don't you?
I do, Mike. A lot of people think you shouldn't wear suede footwear with a tuxedo. I disagree.
What is if you're going like out and about?
Yeah.
If
it's not the Birkenstock, and it's just starting to be Birkenstock season because I'm not a guy that goes socks and stocks, as they say. I will.
A horrible look.
It is the worst. It is the worst.
Any sandal with socks.
Yeah.
Come on, give me a break, please.
Mike, have you ever heard of Kiziks? I think I have them down here. Hold on.
That's like the sexual version of shingles, isn't it?
Yes, you can only get it once.
I got the Kiziks.
No, I don't have them down here. Kiziks was the first footwear that was designed for the lazy person to step into, even though it has laces.
Well, Skechers do that.
Now Skechers does it, but Kiziks was the first. And they came out right about the time that I almost lost my life.
Yes, Josh, laugh away.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is him. It is all him. It's comfort and convenience. That's
well,
what it
Mike,
is.
when you were
his footwear habits are very similar to that of a snowbird or retiree.
Yeah,
down
I'm
here in
surprised they're not
Florida.
the Hey Dudes.
No, I don't have those.
The half a sandal or half a slipper.
Oh, I love Hey Dudes. Love them. Absolutely. Yeah.
But in the summertime it'll be Birks, but in the wintertime it'll either be these Kiziks, which are just like black leather.
Go ahead.
And then
we'll take a moment. We'll take a little extra time. Do you have to go upstairs?
I think so.
I'm not going to make you do that. I
Thank
won't
you.
make you.
God
do that.
bless you. But if you want to search Kizik's, Josh, and bring up a photo, you'll see that they're quite fashionable.
Kizik's.
And also, they're
Oh my
great.
God, we're running late. All right, go ahead.
Kizik's are great if you're under the weather. But I will also sometimes wear Vans.
Oh, really?
The black and white checked Vans, yeah.
Well, the Kizik looks similar. It's got a Van look.
Yeah, it does. Well, Vans stole it from them.
Are they expensive, Kizik?
They're not cheap. I think they were like $80 or something.
Are they $28?
They're not $28. But can you step into those without unlacing them? You're going to break the back.
Probably.
No, you're going to break the back.
It's a pretty firm back. I might be able to.
See, you go, Mike. There you go. That's what
Here's
I
a Kizik.
have, except
Oh,
the
sexy.
yeah.
$89.
See,
That's the men's Prague.
it is. It
That's
is.
about. Are they made? Are they made in Eastern Europe? Is that why that's the men's Prague from the Czech Republic?
Well, they
These
got
are
wide with 3 E's.
Oh, that's a good shoe right there.
There you go.
Mine
Can
were
we
made
see,
by
Can we
Ovechkin's
see the
mother.
other angle of the?
Yeah,
of the
let's see
Kizik?
some other shots.
There you go.
Mine
Right,
are
now the
solid
top.
black. Do they have one in solid black?
There we go. Oh,
Yep,
nice,
I'm
nice.
familiar with the
non-stick
sole.
sole.
Hands free.
How about the
Yeah.
bottom one? There you go. That's the one I want to see.
Yeah.
There it is. Beautiful. Is that a canvas upper?
Well, mine
These
are all leather.
black.
Yeah,
Kizik. I'm not familiar with
hands
the Kizik.
free, Mike. You
Amazing.
just step
No,
right into them.
right.
It's great.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, we've covered the shoes, ladies and gentlemen. And
Have
here they
we?
are. There, thank you very much. Thestron.
Festron.
Thestron.
If you
Space
think
Age
you're
Polymer.
suffering from Festron, please
Yes.
check with your physician.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we got some interesting news from around the world, and we will do that. And
Hey,
later on
hey,
in
Mike.
the
Guess
show,
what? Guess what? We have a
Yes.
promo here.
Oh, good. And later on in the show, we'll talk about TSA PreCheck. Is it worth it?
Yes.
We will continue momentarily. You are listening to the Mike O'Malley Show. Well,
This week's bonus show is a gas.
you burp again?
I did, man. I'm sorry.
Mike and Rob talk about buying hats and buying cars.
Does your interior smell like baseball gear?
Yeah, absolutely. It smells like Georgia red clay and socks. And I'm hanging upside down in it right now. Oh, look, I found a McDonald's French fry. Still good.
Get that fifth hour of comedy with a bonus show subscription.
Watch the show on the Video.
And don't forget to load up on t-shirts, hats, loud cups, and more at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Hey, focus! Baseball ready.
And remember,
You can't make a baby in the butt.
There you go. Beautiful hat. Haven't sent it out yet. Anyway, are you like Rob? He's got this beard and he wants
Yeah.
to cover the gray up.
I do.
But home hair dye kits are a mess and the salon is a hassle. So he keeps it simple. Simpler Hair Color has a full variety of shades to match any guy's hair and beard. With Simpler Hair Color, there's no need to buy a separate hair, beard, and touch-up product. A single can has you covered for all of them. Plus, one can of Simpler Hair Color provides as many uses as up to 4 boxes of drugstore hair dye. Simpler Hair Color was started by 2 buddies. They endured the mess of home dye kits and the harsh ingredients of salons for years.
Salon.
So they developed their own hair dye formula for men. The choice is simple. Simpler Hair Color offers gentler ingredients, a cleaner application, much better application, and unlike other companies, there's no waste. 20 minutes and you're done.
It's
That's why they're-
amazing how fast it is, Mike. You can do it as part of your morning routine. It's so quick. So,
Yep. And
yeah.
it's worked for Rob's beard. It can work for your hair as well. Their mission to become the #1 men's hair and beard dyeing brand. Plus, Simpler Hair Color offers free shipping and free returns so you can try Simpler Hair Color risk-free. Say goodbye to grays the easy way with Simpler Hair Color. Head to simplerhaircolor.com/TMOS and use the code for 10% off your order. Once again, that's simplerhaircolor.com/TMOS. That gets you 10% off, and make sure you use the promo code TMOS so they know that we sent you, everybody.
And Mike, just before we move on,
Yes.
Jesus wore sandals.
Yes, he did.
Thank you.
That's true. Thank you, and God bless. Actor, comedian Russell Brand has
this
been
guy.
charged
Speaking
with
of Jesus.
rape. Yes, not quite. Charged with rape, indecent assault, and other sex crimes by London's Metropolitan Police. This is a heavy-duty thing.
Yeah,
The
didn't he have a
charges-
past, too,
Yeah.
that he sort of ducked? and now it's back to bite him, I guess.
It's absolutely the past. The charges relate to 4 separate incidents between 1999 and 2005 involving 4 different women. Russell tweeted a video denying it all. He said, quote, "I was a fool before. I lived in the light of the Lord." So he says he's found Jesus now. "I was a drug addict, a sex addict, and an imbecile. But what I never was a rapist." Here's his quote. He says, "I've never engaged in non-consensual activity. I pray that you can see that by looking in my eyes." So obviously, like any police department, when they bring charges, they have some evidence to back that up. So we'll see.
Are they also going to charge him with remaking Arthur?
Oh, the worst. The worst.
I know. So bad.
I find him unsettling. I know that
I find him unpleasant. I absolutely
unpleasantly
do.
Unsettling. You know, it's just he's always uncomfortable in his own skin.
I agree.
To me, so but
although I can take him and get him to the Greek, mostly because of Jonah Hill, though. I don't mind that movie.
What's the one that he did?
And Saving Silverman.
Saving Silverman was
or
really
was
good.
that or Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
It was
Sarah Marshall. That's
Sarah
the
Marshall.
one I love him in. Really, really good in that one. But in big trouble now. Does Hugh Grant look like a sex trafficker? Well, he looks like a guy that would buy a prostitute from back in the day. That was his big controversy.
Hugh Grant. Please say
Grant.
it right. Please say it right.
Immigration officials at London's Heathrow Airport apparently thought so. He revealed in a tweet that they quizzed his children on Friday. Here's his quote. "Just came through Heathrow with my wife and children. We all have the same last name on our passports. Immigration officers engaged my children in chit-chat, then whispered to them, 'Are these your mum and dad?' Intrusive, insulting, creepy." That's how he describes it.
I thought that's commonplace.
Yeah,
I thought that's normal going through immigration.
It's going to happen to you every airport you go to in Europe.
Yeah.
Every single one.
No,
it's
I
going to be.
I seriously think they do ask that to kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he just maybe has always gotten celebrity culture.
It's never happened to me when I'm traveling with my children. Hugh and his wife.
How about when you're traveling with your wife?
Hey, bada bing. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Fall down funny. There it is.
Hey, there I am in my Kizik's.
Oh, got one yesterday. Got a grandfather reference yesterday, Rob, just so you in case I did that. It was
okay.
Anyway, I didn't need to hit that. Hugh and his wife, Anna Eberstein, have 3 kids together, 12, 9, and 7. He has 2 kids with another woman who are 12 and 13, so he's got a lot of little brood around. Not clear which kids he was traveling with. Hugh is 64. Maybe the fact that he's an older guy with young kids raised some red flags. And, outside of this little incident, I will tell you, Hugh Grant has made some brilliant choices.
Yeah.
Playing very unusual roles that show his depth as an actor, and I love Hugh Grant movies. I
think over the past 2 years, we've had him as a convicted murderer in that miniseries that was on.
Fantastic.
That was great. And then he was also in Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, he was an Oompa Loompa, and he was a heavy. He was a heavy in. Was it Paddington or Stuart Little? One of those two. He played an evil guy. I think it might have been Stuart Little.
But I love his choices, and I like him more than I did 10 years ago because I think he's having fun with his fame. So that's good stuff.
One of the great romantic comedies I think of all time is Notting Hill. Mm-hmm. I love Notting Hill. I love the casting
and Euphoria,
and Emmanuel too.
All great.
Back in 2022, Bill Murray was, by the way, I'm on Team Murray with this story.
Okay.
Bill Murray was working on a movie called Being Mortal, which was being directed by Aziz Ansari, and he did something to a female crew member that got the whole shebang canceled. Bill still doesn't think what he did was that bad. He says, quote, "I was wearing a mask, and I gave her a kiss, and she was wearing a mask." I'm sorry, I agree. It wasn't like I touched her, but it was just I gave her a kiss through a mask, and she wasn't a stranger. He adds, quote, "I certainly thought it was light. I thought it was funny. To me, it's still funny. To me, it's still funny.
It is.
The idea that you could give someone a kiss with a mask on.
Yeah.
Yes, this is true.
If she's asleep.
Yes, Al Franken.
Or drugged. Yeah.
It's still it's stupid. It's still stupid. A kiss with a mask on, and that's all it was. It still bothers him that everything came to a halt the way it did. Quote, there was no conversation. There was nothing. There was no peacemaking, nothing. I don't go too many days or weeks without thinking about it. Well, I mean, it sounds just a little bit like over the top, but there was a time that we were full pendulum with this, and it's one of the real contradictions about society nowadays. What we go bat S over and what we tolerate in this.
Do you
country.
think the
It's very
lady
strange.
would have been as upset if she had been kissed by Brian Doyle Murray, his
Doyle
good-looking
Murray.
brother?
Caddyshack, if you want to see him, he's the caddy master.
Oh, look at him
a young
now.
Brian Doyle Murray. Yeah.
The older Brian Doyle Murray is more stately.
And that would be Wayne's World, and a slightly older, where he has the furniture store.
Yes.
Two chimps on a Davenport. I don't know if it's a furniture store; it might be a car store, but he's in that one.
Yes.
And let's see, he's in Groundhog Day as well.
That's right. Yeah.
His voice is as the DJs. Big fan of Brian Doyle Murray. Not quite sure why.
Well, as you call him, Mike, BDM.
BDM, and not to mention his kinky brother BDSM. It's National Beer Day, and the website
Sad.
The website Visual Capitalist recently crunched the numbers on the average price of 24 packs of beer across the country. The state with the cheapest case of beer. Any guesses? Would you like to throw a guess out?
Mississippi.
No,
I'm gonna guess
you always put
Mississippi.
Mississippi in there.
And I say it the way my niece and nephew say it, Mississippi.
I'll give you a hint. The state with the cheapest case of beer is the state that you can mispronounce on a regular basis at the end. People do
Nevada.
it all the time. No, that's the end. Illinois.
Oh, okay.
It's
and Mike, are you
Illinois.
going to make some of your Illinoises later?
Yes. It's Illinois, where the average
Chicago,
price
yeah.
is $16 for a case, 24-pack rather, is $16.43. South
That's
Carolina,
$4 for a 6-pack. That's giving it away.
South Carolina. Calm down, you scare me when you get so excited.
I just like to
I
get
really-
Mike. Listen, I still know all the words. It's okay.
Yeah, South Carolina is second cheapest, followed by New York, Rhode Island, Kansas, Michigan, North Carolina, Arizona, Connecticut, and Virginia.
Hey, see, it was easy to be an alcoholic.
But was
Cheap.
it really cheap?
Mike, if you go down to them Carolinas, that's going to be north or south. You know what you can do? You can go to a brew-through and buy that beer in your car. Just drive on through and go to the brew-through.
In Illinois, the price was $16.43. But was it really that cheap? Alaska was the priciest, with an average of $33.62 per case. Wyoming was the second most expensive, followed by Hawaii. I think everything's expensive
Shipping.
over in Hawaii. Montana, that's a surprise. Tennessee, bigger surprise. Vermont, Pennsylvania, expensive beer there.
Well, in
Nevada,
Tennessee,
the
they make most of
aforementioned Nevada.
they make most of their booze at home.
Oregon, and the great state of Washington.
Yeah.
Dirk, sorry about those beer prices.
Yeah,
Hi,
I used
Carla.
to I used to grade beer prices by assigning a price per can. And for a long time you could get a 12 of Beck's for $12.99 at the grocery store. And I'm thinking that's $1 and change per beer. And that's
How I
pretty
rate
good.
my restrooms, too, per can. I don't know why he said that.
Good night.
Why did Michael say that stupid non sequitur?
By the can.
He doesn't know either, ladies and gentlemen, but we'll move on, shall we?
Thank you, please.
A recent poll asked, when did you last write a handwritten personal letter? Would you two like to try that question and answer that?
Wow. I think I wrote a thank you note to someone at Christmas. Does that count?
Yes. 100%.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah.
What about you, Mr. Soroka?
I sent Rob a letter this morning.
Yeah.
You did.
But you do every day.
It's wonderful. What did the letter?
No,
would you like to share the contents?
No, my last letter was 3 years ago, I think.
3 years ago. Was it something?
Was it?
Was it something spouse related?
It was probably, when getting married.
Okay. Just
When
checking.
Josh sends me a letter every day, it smells like bergamot.
Yeah, the new Cremo deodorant.
Yes.
That he writes the letter and then he seals it with the Antiperspirant.
He's like, hey, Rob, how you doing?
9% say they've written in the past month. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Which was the most recent option. Another 21% say they've written one in the past year, and another 26% say they're pretty sure they've written one in the past decade. 26% of people say it's been longer than a decade, and 5% claim they have never, ever written a personal letter.
Hey,
if that
you know
isn't
what?
Crazy, yes.
You didn't answer the last time you wrote one.
Well, he is 10 a day.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't count.
He knows because I write
That's
to that.
but that's not personal.
Oh, it's personal to the casino. If that's not crazy enough, 20% of Gen Zers between the ages of 18 and 24 say they've never done it. Ever. Never done it. And that is what's wrong with society today. Those kids, God damn it.
They email, they text. Mike, won't you write me a letter?
I'll write you a letter, and it doesn't have to be, a long letter. I'll just write Rob, comma, great job, exclamation point, Mike.
You know what? I would so frame it.
Consider it done.
Thank you. I can't wait.
Finally, today, a man in New Hampshire walked into a Family Dollar on Saturday night.
Family Dollar.
Shouted, hey, if you have any of those lying around, now would be the time to fetch one.
Might have killed that.
He shouted, hey, to the clerk, and then ran out. The clerk says he was a heavyset man.
Oh, no.
Who was totally naked.
No.
Although, and once again, it rears its ugly head. He was wearing a surgical mask, just like the people,
just like
at
Bill
the
Murray.
Bill Murray movie. Who knows why? Police are investigating and are asking if anyone recognizes the guy. But thankfully, they did not release any photos of the streaker. Oh, a streaker. They refer to it as a streaker.
Hey, don't look, Ethel.
If they can find him, he'll be charged with indecent exposure.
Yes.
And since Rob couldn't find the tapes, I'll do it myself.
Thank you.
Family Dollar butt cheeks. Family Dollar pubic hair. Family Dollar mushroom caps.
Oh, no.
The grocery section. There it is. Family Dollar nudity. We got to take a break. We will come back with TSA pre-check.
Yes.
Is it worth it? Josh uses it. We'll do that when we come back. Yeah. Or does he? I'm not really sure, huh? Hey, this portion of the show brought to you by Soul. Soul. When it's sleepy time down south, sometimes I can't get to sleep. It's a bummer, ladies and gentlemen. However, today's episode of this podcast is sponsored by the good people at Soul. We were talking about Soul for a good portion of the bonus show.
Love it. It's such a great product.
It is
really
a great
fine.
product.
Yeah,
I think you'll
honestly.
Love it. And I've broken my commercial here. I don't know what.
How do you mean?
I don't know. Family Dollar teleprompter.
The thing about it is, Mike, if you have trouble sleeping at night, they have a special gummy that is designed to make you sleep better. It has some THC that gives it some oomph, but it's also got CBD. It's got melatonin, helps you great. The thing is, sleep is so cyclical, and your body responds to cues. Getting dark outside is one of them, but that melatonin will help put you in the right mind to sleep through the night.
And you sleep deeply, and you wake up without feeling groggy. And, of course, Soul obviously made them absolutely yummy blueberry lemonade. Good heavens, I can't believe it. There she goes again. Science! I do that time. Didn't read it the right way the first time you read it.
No, you did good that time, I think.
If you want to treat yourself, crack open a cold, out-of-office, sparkling THC beverage like Rob and Josh did at our last cocktail party. Delicious and relaxing and perfect for the TMOS cocktail party. Be like Rob, subscribe to these wonderful little helpers. They really work, and I love them. So hit snooze and crappy sleep and prepare for a great night. Go to getsoul.com and use code TMOS for 30% off your order. That's 30% off your order using code TMOS. Getsoul.com. TMOS, that's the code. 30% off. That's what you get. Rock-a-bye, baby, on the treetop. Take a Soul gummy. Insomnia will stop. Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen.
I wrote
that. So you wrote that. Yes,
I did.
It was fantastic, really.
Maybe right after the bonus show.
Why did you bring up TSA pre-check?
Because I know Josh is a subscriber. Have you ever done it? I know we don't travel like we used to. I might have done it back in the day when
I'm
we were
always
traveling
jealous
a lot.
of it when I see the people zipping through if I happen to be in a crowded airport. But my solution usually for any kind of travel, I travel as early as possible in the morning.
I do too.
That's how I do it. And
They
go
say
ahead.
when they were selling TSA pre-check, they said that 99% of pre-check lanes should only take about 10 minutes to get through. And I think, you know what, if that's the truth,
That's true.
you find that to be true?
It's very rare that it's more than 5 minutes.
Okay,
That's with computers and everything going through.
They did a survey of 1,500 travelers, both with the pre-check and without, and this is what they found, is that the average non-pre-check person got through security in, anyone want to guess? Survey of 1,500 people?
I'll
30?
say 7 minutes.
43 minutes was the average.
For TSA pre-check?
No pre-check.
For no pre-check.
No pre-check. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I always thought you were asking. Yeah, that
No,
sounds
it sounds
legit.
about right to me, right?
And sometimes, I will give them credit. A lot of the TSA takes a tremendous amount of crap, we always bitch when they're not opening a line on time. But by and large, if you add it up every time you go to the airport, I think more often than not they do tend to shuffle it along fairly quickly when it gets crowded.
You know what? You just got to be patient. That's what I've found. You get there early and you go through it. It's not like you're not going through something that everyone else is. But for 43 minutes without pre-check, Josh, what do you pay for it per year?
I think I paid $70 the first year, and I just renewed it for $57.
Is it just you or your entire family?
Just me.
Okay. So do you leave your family behind? Is that the deal?
It.
I don't travel a whole lot with my family.
Oh, because you're doing the Orioles thing.
Because a lot of
back
times
and
it's me
forth.
going back and forth for ball games.
Right.
But yes, I've left my wife behind multiple times, and I just go and wait at the gate.
Has there ever been a situation where you're on the plane and you think, gosh, I hope she makes it?
Yeah, that's a great question.
No, we always go early enough. There has been occasions where I'll go have breakfast or something, go eat, and then I'll grab her something, but it'll be in the bag, and like, here you go. You got to take it on the plane.
It's a restaurant right next to the gate, and you look over, and she's still on the line, and you're like, hi.
Yeah, that's right.
There's been a little bit of that.
So you think all in all,
Enjoy your ice cold Wahlburger.
And I believe it's a 3-year.
Okay.
3 years to renew. So if I pay $20 a year, it's worth it.
And
all
all in all, with your trips back and forth to see your beloved team, worth it for you, right?
Oh yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it.
He also
how
has
much
pre-check
time-
at Camden Yards. He has it too.
It's also because when I travel, I'm taking all these electronics, the laptops, the microphones, the cables, and that freaks the security people out sometimes.
Oh, they hate stuff like that. They really do.
They do. They want to wand everything, think it's bomb residue and everything. At the pre-check, I don't have to open the bag. Sometimes they'll take a look, but generally I take nothing out of my bags, go through, walk out. They don't.
The
So
hardest
let me ask a
thing to
question.
travel
Hold on,
with-
Rob. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me ask a question regarding that. So when you apply for it, they do a pretty deep background check.
Yeah, they do a
on you,
background
don't
check.
they?
I had to go to a place and meet and like sit down and be interviewed by someone.
Okay, all right. So it is
The
a
first
really
time.
big deal, and that's why because it made me a little nervous when you said you don't have to open the bag at all. What about
The interview, Mike, was with Scott Pelley. Did you know that?
I have to ask this question. When I heard you say that, I wonder, wouldn't this be something that someone nefarious could, if they passed the TSA pre-check, then they could do something heinous?
But don't we all just believe that a bad guy can get through security, that it's just all theater?
I do too.
That's been documented. That that really, it's the whole TSA thing is made to make people to
Or where
create the
you can
illusion of security.
Go through security and then buy enough stuff in the gift shops to make a bomb.
Yeah,
No, that's like a real thing on the internet.
Mentos.
Yes.
Ink from a glossy magazine and a souvenir hat.
And a trashy
Boom!
novel, Mike.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, go ahead on
Okay,
your story.
that's
Rob.
right. So 43 minutes is the average if you don't have pre-check. And this is across 1,500 travelers in different situations. How much do you think time is shaved off if you have the pre-check? You're going from 43 minutes to what on average? This is from the survey.
I'll say under 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
under 10 as an average.
36 minutes.
No.
So, well, I'm just talking at this
not
national
in
average.
Jacksonville, not in BWI.
Okay. But do you think, let's go with these statistics saying they're valid. Is it worth your $50 a year to save 7 minutes?
Well, no, of course
No.
it wouldn't be. But I think what you're talking about is the airports where that number would come into play would mean
Right.
that you had an amazingly long line in regular check-in if it was 36 minutes, right? Well, I
Yeah.
mean, wouldn't it average out a little bit? If you're going to an airport where people can get through in like 30 minutes, you know what I mean?
Well, it
I'll tell
depends
you-
on how many people have pre-check, I guess, you know, because they've got to go through, you have to like go through a line anyway, even if you have pre-check, right?
It
Yeah,
just
but
stuns me that
it's
it would
no-
be 36 minutes. That's,
No, it runs through really fast. And I'll tell you, there's something up with those numbers because I went to Orlando once where it was real busy, and I got through an hour ahead of my wife.
Wow.
So there's a big difference and I've never been at a pre-check line that's longer than 15 people.
I'm just going by the
And-
data I've got here. But
And those 15 people do not have to take off their shoes, do not have to take out their laptops, do not have to take off jackets.
All right, I'll try to make him feel better.
And that all
Rob.
slows
Read
people
the
down.
statistic again. Read the numbers again.
all right,
for us,
if you do not have pre-check, it's 43 minutes. And if you do, it's 36 minutes.
That is a lie.
The hit.
That is what we both.
But
come to
now this
enjoy.
is something I am curious about because Josh is familiar with it. 93% of respondents say even if it's longer, it is a less stressed experience. Do you feel calmer going through it?
1,000%.
Okay, that's cool.
It's so, because you don't have to unbox anything. There's no lady going down saying, remove hats, take out your computers.
Do you know
do
how
this,
many
do that.
times, Mike, I had to explain to the crew at National Airport what an instant replay machine was?
Oh my God! Because that got flagged all the time.
Every time, because it doesn't look like a computer and it doesn't look like anything
But Rob
else.
didn't mind. Rob didn't mind because he was able to enjoy the body cavity
What-
search every single time.
What
yeah,
I was not
pre-check
prepared
allowed
for-
me to go through twice.
What were
The
you
only
saying,
thing that
sorry,
really
Jeff?
caught me is I took tripods for like microphones
Yeah.
to Singapore, and I had a layover in Japan, and they did not understand the tripods. They thought it was for guns,
Really?
and
Oh.
that caused some language issues.
Like a
And-
stand for a gun?
Yes,
Like a
and because we couldn't speak the same language, they were doing hand gestures of guns while I'm in the airport. So that was a
Wow.
problem.
Wow.
I imagine
He's a
so.
world traveler, ladies and gentlemen. We have to
He
take a
is,
break.
yeah.
He is a world traveler, and I am not. I fear that ship has sailed. For me, get it? Ship
No,
has sailed.
you're gonna go to Japan.
Yeah, well, I'm going
And
to
your
try.
ship sails in December.
And by the way, I hope they don't know my nickname at American University was Tripod. So we no, it wasn't. We'll be right
I thought it was footstool.
It was the Irish mushroom. Who am I kidding, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, place your bets. Place your bets because it's Derby time.
Hey!
Oh, man, I'm excited about this. It's going to be fun. Boy, make big cash with the Parimutuel betting system. Live large, saddle up. Derby time and the Mike O'Mara Show Kentucky Derby Party is racing your way. Less than a month to go. Join us Saturday, May 3rd. We're all coming up to D.C. at 5 p.m. Jimmy's Old Town Tavern for a night of fun, laughter, food, drinks, and, of course, the big race.
Hey, Mike, what's this I hear about you coming to Virginia?
That's right. Yeah, Tripod coming to Virginia, ladies and gentlemen. Bring your boldest, fiercest, most fabulous hats for our legendary Ladies Hat Contest.
I know someone who's going to compete that I did not expect, but had a Facebook exchange with former Herndon Mayor Lisa Merkel.
That's
And
exciting.
she went thrifting this weekend to buy an outrageous hat.
You will not be participating, right? You will
No,
not, Rob.
I
You're
have
not
a hat. I have a
but
hat
you
for
don't
it.
have the proper hat. You're bringing a top hat. That's not a lady's hat.
No, you're right. But
But
what
if
if
you
I
add
were
some
to?
flowers,
Yeah, I could adorn it.
You could decorate it,
That's right.
Do you think you could pull that off?
Sure, absolutely.
Very good.
Yeah.
Ladies hats are encouraged. We're going to have the big contest. Real and or wax fruit, optional. Are you listening, Mayor Merkel? It's great that she's coming. The best part, it's free, so mark your calendars. Rally your crew and RSVP now. You just definitely want to have a reservation for this event. Here's the phone number, 703-435-GYMS. Wow, all this Kentucky talk takes me back to the years I had a job growing bluegrass. What are you talking about?
Kentucky
what is this?
bluegrass.
You put bluegrass.
It's candy in a jar because it's bluegrass.
Oh, damn it.
Put a candy in there. And you didn't repunctuate the wow that I told you to. It was green. I don't know what that means. All right, see you Saturday, May 3rd at Jimmy's Old Town Tavern. And remember, the odds are you'll have fun. Get it? Remember, call Jimmy, 703-435-GYMS. We'll see you there. Or email Danielle.jimmy'soldtowntavern@gmail.com.
Will you have a hat, Mike?
Yeah.
Because I know you have a particularly garish hat. I don't know that you'd want to travel.
Are you talking about my top hat?
Yeah.
No, I'm not bringing that. No, that's
it's so pretty,
that's a position of honor. I won't travel.
All right,
will Carrie give us a heads up on who we should be putting our money on?
No.
Yes. That's a great idea.
She doesn't do horses. I'll have her make a pick, though.
Well, she didn't do basketball before. She does that now, and you can tell her rock and roll and and pick the horse. I think
will
we
tell
should
her to
have
make a pick.
the announcement, and then everybody lays one down on. And Jimmy, Jimmy's always got the gambling games at his place too.
Yeah,
he'll do that, and
sure.
Have it down there. All right, I wanted to talk about. Oh boy, there's so many things. I don't know what I want to get to here.
Go to the second one.
A car incident was my second one.
Yeah,
Sorry
do
about
that.
No, that was the car incident.
We did that
with the
already.
dent that I already talked
Oh, I thought there was another car incident. I didn't
Ladies
know.
and gentlemen, it's not too difficult to engage in a program. You just listen. That's what it requires. That's all it requires.
I was thinking the car incident had to do with an accident. Okay,
No,
what is your...
Would you like to
to
know why Temu is going away?
No, I want to tell you about my idea for a business venture.
Is it guaranteed?
I don't know enough about it.
All right, let's see.
All right. Are you accepting investors?
I want an investor.
Okay,
I want
I'm your
single
guy.
investor.
I'm your guy.
No, you're not.
Okay, I'm not your guy.
You're aware of the fact that I like this guy Bretsky, right?
He's a gambler,
Bretsky is
right?
a gambler.
Yeah.
A dream of mine. This is a pathetic dream. A dream of mine has been to do one of my favorite things to do, which is gamble, and to gamble like these guys you see. I believe that Bretsky has not only established himself because he gambles more and more and more, and he gambles more and more often, and he used to just bring a couple of $100 out and be there. Now, obviously, with his following, he is able to not only support his habit, but his habit is his income. It is generating income for him.
Do you ever see him win?
Yeah, only rarely. He only rarely, but
he has advertisers and he gets paid by TikTok and YouTube and all that
because he's got so many people following him.
All right.
And it's not Bretsky, because if you look at Bretsky, not necessarily the most compelling personality in the world, but he's got a way about him. And then you see a guy like Vegas Matt. Is there anybody more vanilla than Vegas Matt? There's nobody more vanilla than Vegas Matt. He has over 1 million followers online. This guy goes crazy. And I was thinking about it. You might think that, if you've listened for a number of years, you might offer an analysis of me that, ladies and gentlemen, I have the gift of gab.
Well, I think...
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
I think what it's not just the gab. What could really set you apart against these guys is you have to go to these casinos and embody Charlie. That it's not Mike O'Mara, it is Charlie.
That would be great, especially like that lady that doesn't show herself.
Yeah.
You could just be Charlie from off camera.
So if I was Charlie from off camera, and then every time I went, I won.
Yeah.
Exactly. That'll set you apart.
But
look at that, 7s across the board.
But the thing is that every poll, no matter what comes up, Charlie thinks he wins.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it's not a win, he still thinks he wins. Yeah.
If someone wants to look into this and decide it's for them. It's a straight 50-50 offer. Every dollar in profit will be 50 cents to the investor, 50 cents to me.
It's not so much that you're looking for an investor, you're looking for a partner. And you're offering a strong commission. Right?
But it's, sweat equity on your boy's part here. So
sure.
I'm bringing, but the seed money for this enterprise, I think the reason, Josh, these are successful is because of the money that's gambled.
Mm-hmm.
I think Vegas Matt is the absolute greatest example of that because people can't gamble that and they live vicariously through him.
That makes sense.
So that's it. Yeah. There it is. 50. And I'm planning, to pitch it to Shark Tank. No, I'm not.
Oh, that'd be good. You know who could get in on
I'm
that?
not expecting anything
Mike,
from this anyway.
Barbara Corcoran will be in on that, and maybe you can get a date out of it.
Yeah, well, that's you, not me, because you have always been attracted to her. I'm not.
Well,
quite sure
I wish I had her hair.
Mm-hmm. She's lovely. She's striking, really. That's it. That's it. It's the business idea. Find an investor for the gambling videos. 50-50 right down the line. What do you think
What casino will you gamble at? The one, is it going to be down there? Or is this going to require travel?
No, I can go like 40 minutes down the road and find one here. I can go up to Tampa, go over to Miami. The big three. I'll do Tampa, Miami, and
you're going to need to call the host, though, to make sure you can film.
We got to get them some of those camera glasses.
Oh, no, these guys have a system. And hey, I know at least the place in Miami has been used for filming as well.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you could get a waiver?
You got to grease the guys that make those decisions.
Yeah.
That's the
Mike, could you get like a waiver so that Michael could film you? Because you need a good cameraman.
No. Now, see, here you are, not interested, and you're suddenly just creating fiction.
Well,
I am
no,
telling
Mike,
you,
what, are you going to film and gamble?
Split. What? Rob, what do you think they do? Have you ever watched any of these videos?
I've watched some of them, but they don't strike me the way they strike you.
The aforementioned tripod they set up with the machine in front of them, and that's what it is.
But don't some of them? It seems to me one of them at least had a camera person on him. I think Vegas Matt had someone handling.
He's got an operation.
Okay, so you don't want that. You don't want that.
No, Carla can do that. Carla can be my camera person. She loves to be there for part of that. And what do you think I need to do to seed this operation? Because it's risk capital to start with,
I think you'll need to put out a few test videos that you fund yourself. Sad, but
we got to
true.
take a break, ladies and gentlemen. We will come back with beautiful video right here. That killed the idea. Rob Spiewak just killed it, died in its script. There it is.
Mike, you could go to the penny slots. You can still gab at a penny
slots. You can still lose a ton of cash. I watch the videos,
I know.
Rob.
I've done
I know
it.
More about it than you do. Penny slots will drop 1,000 as fast as you can say lickety-lick. We'll take a break and we will come back with the beautiful video right here on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Lickety-lick.
Lickety-lick. Hi, everybody. How are you? Cremo. Rob referenced it before.
Yes.
He was talking about the bergamot. Here's the problem with body care stuff. It all smells so boring. Men's products need more variety. That's why I love Cremo. Used it this morning. It's fantastic. You deserve freedom from sweat and stink. Cremo's deodorant, designed to provide men with 48-hour odor protection. Cremo products are all barber grade and made with pride, professionalism, and passion to guarantee you quality without compromise. Elevate your deodorant experience with Cremo's 2 latest signature scents. Italian Bergamot is bright, fresh, and robust, while Palo Santo is deep, smoky, and refined. Both are great. They really smell fantastic. Remember, deodorant isn't just for smelling good. The scent you choose sets the tone for how you present yourself. Cremo helps men make an unforgettable impression every time. I love the stuff. I wish you could smell me right now. Let me try.
Okay.
Oh, God, I love bergamot. I really do. Turn some heads with your manly aroma.
That's
really?
right.
They didn't write that.
No, I wrote that. But it's great, Mike. If you're stuck in a TSA line, do a favor for someone. Put on some bergamot.
Jesus, that'll. Head to Target or Target.com to find Cremo's new line of antiperspirants and deodorants in the Italian Bergamot and Palo Santo scents. Once again, that's Target or Target.com, everybody.
Hey, I like that. Some beautiful video.
Jerry time. Oh, Mike, more for your money.
More
See, that's what we give you here. More for your money. Mike, you were just talking gambling, and you've had good days, I'm sure, and bad.
More bad than good, like everybody.
Yeah, and I think the worst is when you're up, but you give it all back. That's
You will
sad.
always remember that trip to Iowa, won't you?
I wasn't citing that. I wasn't citing that in particular.
Up, and then down. Yeah.
The funny thing about that is not the loss of money, is that you staggered with definite, like, just authoritative walking. You were definitely going somewhere, and you walked right by Steve Bridges, and you said, without him even saying anything to you, you just said, "I'm a degenerate gambler."
Yeah, guilty as charged. 100% guilty as charged.
But it's sad when you're so close you can taste it, and then you blow it. Like this woman from Pennsylvania, Mike.
Okay.
This story is very sad.
A woman found out she won the lottery.
Hey.
And then realized she lost the ticket. She left it in an old jacket that she donated to charity.
Talk about a nightmare. The winning lottery ticket, it's not a small one. It's worth $2.5 million. Her name is Mildred Simona Reludo, and she said she bought the ticket at a grocery store last May. 2 weeks later, she found, hey, I won, but where's the ticket? That's when she remembered she had put it inside a jacket that she donated to Vietnam Veterans of America.
Yeah.
I was stupefied. There's no words.
Where'd she donate her teeth?
It was.
She can go back to her job as an escort now.
No, she can go back to her job. The funny joke is she can go back to her job as a dentist. So did it went away when it went into the...
Gone.
That's a shame.
Yeah, that is sad. And you know what? When someone does that, there's no proof, I suppose, that they had it. She could just be having fun at our expense.
Rob, you could go out today and say you had the winning ticket. And if nobody claims it, you could go, I had it, but unfortunately, I ate it. And I never was able to get it out of the food.
I looked for it.
Yum, yum.
Do you remember the it's not a great movie, but the David Spade movie, Lost and Found, where they have to go through, a dog swallows a ring. And they have to go through, and it's Artie Lang that's forced to do it.
I did not have the pleasure of viewing that film.
It's it's quite David Spady, but I like it. So,
I like David Spade.
Jay North, who played Dennis the Menace, has passed. He was in his 70s, I think 74. And the first thought I had is, God, Mr. Wilson must be having a great day because he finally got rid of Dennis the Menace. But you would think, even back then, that if you're the star, really the nominal star of a show like Dennis the Menace, they probably would treat you pretty well. We've encountered our share of angry sitcom actors.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Russell Johnson, who played the professor, might be at the top of your list.
Absolutely. Hated the fact that he was typecast in Gilligan's Island. Hated
but
it.
I think Jay North might be even angrier than Russell Johnson.
Dennis the Menace. I hate Dennis the Menace. I thought Dennis the Menace was a piece of garbage. I wouldn't watch the show for anything in the world. The only reason I'd watch it would be to make myself sick to my stomach if I wanted to do that. I absolutely despise that show, and I'm sorry that I was ever associated with it. It's an evil, vile system. The people in it who run it are cruel, they are insensitive, they don't care about anybody but making money, and they don't care. People in Hollywood would cut their own mother's throats to make a buck.
Wow.
Whoa. Holy magoli.
Did it ever come out why he had such a bad experience?
Apparently it was, he had a very, very aggressive aunt that served as like an agent and told him that if he didn't continue to do what he did, his entire family would lose their entire situation.
Wow.
So almost like playing terror tricks with a kid.
Wow. Oh, it's certainly, you can't think that would be impossible to happen in Hollywood.
No. Oh, and he went on, actually, he stayed in showbiz a long time.
That is an amazing piece of video. I never saw that.
Thank you.
That's amazing. Really.
He went on to voice the grown-up Bam Bam when Pebbles and Bam Bam were teenagers. So he worked on and on.
If you want to call that.
Hey, Mike, you know what? Cartoon voiceover is a good job.
Yeah, I never got the opportunity except for being a tomato.
Do it. Come on.
Bummer.
Give us what we want.
With top quality prices every day.
Thank you.
Sure you don't want me to do 43 more takes?
I don't. I think you nailed it.
Booth,
I think you nailed it.
Bitch.
But he was Bam Bam, and little girl Sally Struthers was Pebbles in those cartoons.
Okay.
So
All right,
they
but
had some
boy,
talent there.
And that was taken a long, long time ago when he was a
that was
young
in
guy.
the early 90s when Dennis had a crew cut.
Man, oh man, very, very. That's sad. That's sad
It
in a
is.
way because
It
it was
is.
such a kind of they created the illusion of being a wholesome show. Wow.
You know what? In retrospect, it was a suck show.
Can I ask this though?
Yeah, please.
How come a guy like that becomes a guy like that, and then you get a Ron Howard who goes on and becomes
Parenting.
Is
Absolutely
it?
parenting.
Really?
Yeah. Ron Howard's father is Rance Howard. He was a legendary actor and stuntman back in the day. So he came up through the business. And I think a parent that understands the business can protect a kid.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe the family.
Well, and
hung him out to
abuse.
dry. Yeah.
Avoiding abuse.
Well, there's that
would be
too.
the key.
Yeah.
Terrible. Terrible.
We want to minimize the abuse on the set
Okay,
of
let's move on,
DTM.
shall we, please? Thank you.
All right, Mike, let's close with this. I don't think Philadelphia is a city with a legendary sense of humor. Would you say that?
I think there is a reputation that the city of Philadelphia has as having a chip on its shoulder. I think that would be reasonable. Yeah.
And so that's why this surprised me when they were covering a water main break on Philadelphia's Fox 29. Do you still take Fox 29?
I regularly, I don't look at any of my local channels anymore. I like Fox 29.
You look at Fox 29.
It's my favorite, absolutely.
Yes.
Philly's finest.
Well, when they had a water main break, the guy covering it had a little fun, but the desk anchor had the most fun.
Back in the day when you'd have to drink out of the hose. Okay.
He's pretending to drink from the water main break.
We could do with this.
No. Yeah. What are you
Naughty
coming over
and,
here?
Yeah, there's something I can do. Oh, wait, what's he
Only
doing?
gonna get
What's
us in
he
trouble.
doing? Oh, yeah.
I know.
That's fantastic. Oh, I know that, dude.
Street is this?
This
He's
is
a famous
Route
anchor,
40.
man.
Yeah, he's standing like
That's
the
brilliant.
water main is
and he's
coming
doing
out
it
of
without
his
getting
pants.
called.
Right in front of the apple.
That's
You
awesome.
know, you've been to the apple.
That is
And
so
more.
non-angry, but
So
he's been
there's
doing it a million
Oh, wait,
years.
street
That
car
guy's
wash.
got riz.
That's
Oh, my
what I
God.
have for you today.
That's fantastic. Well done. Great job. And I don't think that was a Philadelphia news station. I think that was a Philadelphia water main break. And that was a Los Angeles news station.
Oh, I will double check.
Research that, find out, and we'll correct it tomorrow. But I think that guy's a longtime L.A. anchor. That was awesome.
You're
Thank
going to
you.
have to look in our corrections section on our website.
Yes, if we accuse you of being a Philly anchor, man, I just don't think that would happen. We had to say bye-bye. Don't forget, we are going to Jimmy's less than a month to Jimmy's Old Town Tavern. We'll be there for the Kentucky Derby party. Also, go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and get your cruise cabins. They are still up there. We'd love to see you on the cruise. We covered a lot of that on the cocktail hour on Saturday night. Lots of fun things happening. Am I leaving anything out, Josh Soroka? Oh, congratulations to our superhero again, Christy Noble, who was
Tina Noble.
Tina Noble. I'm sorry, Tina Noble. And there she is. She's a Mike O'Mara Show superhero. We appreciate that. For Rob Spiewak and Josh Soroka, Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
Bye-bye, folks.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
That is a lie.
I'm Ray Barboni from Miami.